to my channel, Country Conversations with Diva D. This is my episode reunion review, part 2 of Love and Marriage, Detroit. Now, this show has been getting like really mixed reviews. I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, like I've been telling my fellow, in the comments, because they probably not watching my channel. But in the comments, I always tell my fellow YouTubers, this show got to gain legs. I like the cast, they do what every other cast does. I mean, they are argumentative with each other, bring the drama. I think the missing element to me on this reunion, though, was the friends of the show. I wish they had brought Bravo and Lakita on, especially. I think they would have been a good couple, but just like with DC, like I can't remember her name. I think her name was Hannah, and she did Monique's hair. I thought her and her husband were a good couple, and they didn't even bring them back for season 2. So that's neither here nor there. But I do wish they had them on the reunion. Now, Christina and Colby are hugging, and Christina says, she wishes that things hadn't gotten this far between her and Colby, because her and Colby have a true friendship. And to me, what, like I said, the driving force between those two is this, what do you call it, the influencer thing. That's their job. And this is the thing that is the driving force that's destroying this friendship to me. Other than that, and the men, but really to me, Russell does a pretty good job of staying out of what's going on with Colby and Christina. But the men, they hug, except for the part about him threatening to break every bone in Brandon's body. That was too much. But everybody hugged, and it seemed like it was a little disjointed there. Carlos says that he knows that this relationship can be repaired. They brought each other on the show for a reason, and the reason why this show works so well is because they are the glue, and they have a real friendship. And then there's a contradiction in there, because we go on to find out that somewhere there isn't. Then Anthony kisses and asks Carlos if he should have been a preacher. We go on to LaToya and Colby arguing. And LaToya is, really insulted by Christina asking her if that's what her degree got her. I would have been insulted as well. But again, it's to Christina's point, LaToya did actually insert herself into this argument between Colby and Christina. And the thing about it is, had she not inserted herself into this argument, I think that she wouldn't have had much to do because Christina could not pin her down on why she didn't like her. So they talk about their 20-year friendship. And what was so weird to me is, they talk about Brandon and Anthony's 20-year friendship. And what was so weird to me about their friendship is Brandon was so confused as to what Anthony does. It's really weird because normally, if you have a 20-year friendship, you know what your friend does. I've been friends with my best friend for over 40 years. I know what she did, what she doing, and how she doing it, and how she moving. That's neither here nor there. Now, Anthony does feel disrespected because he doesn't think that Brandon respects what he does. And so Brandon gives his rundown on, I work with Big Sean. They all came through the Star Factory. And somebody named Tina somebody named Grizzly and Tina. I don't know any of these people except Big Sean. So, you know, hey, I'm not very into music of today. I just know some bigger stars because of music stars because they are still, you know, on the scene like Meg and Cardi. I know them, and you know, and of course Beyonce because Beyonce is Beyonce. But Summer Walker and SZA and the Mimi Pew sounding girls. So they all sound the same. So when they come on the radio, I'm not sure who's who. Ari Lennox and of course Jasmine. But you know they've been around. I mean these new, or if they are new, I don't know. But to me, as far as the music business goes, it seems like Brandon is the more solidified producer in this. And is Anthony a producer? What is he doing? And he's naming all the people. Oh well, I did the same thing, and you know, all your people did was pay $50 to come through the Star Factory. Now I'm sure to get producer time at the Star Factory, they have to pay more than $50. Now, again, there's Latoya sitting there aloof. You know, she says she does feel insulted because, you know, Brandon asked what Anthony do. And she's like, now she had a point. Why do black people always wonder how the other black person got their money? And then, you know, she said, you threw a dig at my husband and said that he got the money from his father. And then Anthony's like, well, my father is a social worker. So, hey. You know. Then they get on to Christina and Kobe and Russell. I call Russell Christina. And they talk about how they had it going on. They used to jump across the tables. They was in the club tearing it up, and then Russ said he had to make a change because the people from his school, when he was a principal, started seeing him up in the club. But I think Christina misses that part of him. And he literally thinks that, I guess the way he thinks he could change is becoming a chaplain, preacher, whatever, something in divinity. However, he doesn't communicate this well with his wife. Christina Kobe is really sure that she does not want to be a preacher's wife. And she has made that clear several times. Like I said, it seems to me that she wants to get back to that old thing. Now, they have a child now, so they can back it up a bit. But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with going to a little lounge here and there. So they get back on Latoya and Christina. They still going back and forth. And Christina is like, you know, pin it down. Tell me what I did. And here is Latoya. She has Doc Stone. She can't come up with one single thing that she does not like about Christina other than she's a manipulator. And then Christina's like, well, you heard that in the streets. And ask the mutual friend that we have. Now, I did a little research, and this seems to be like a Giselle and Wendy situation, only just slightly less severe. But I believe I read that they were both AKAs. Now, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Then, you know, Christina said, you know, I feel judged by you, and I can understand that because Doc seems to, you know, just really not see it for Christina. And then, you know, Christina says, you know, she's really tired of being judged by Latoya. And Latoya's like, you know, she feels the same way about her, especially when she questioned her degree. And she's like, it's hard enough than to be questioned as a black woman as to what I'm doing. I mean, I worked so hard. I worked 8 years for my degree, and I'm sitting up here being judged by you as well. And I feel some kind of way about that because I am a black woman in sports medicine, and I own my own business, and all those things are hard to do as a black woman. And they go on and they get into the drama with Brittany. We're going to find out some things about Brittany. Everybody wants to use Brittany as a PR person, whatever, in the middle. I feel like she was in the middle of this. I wish they had brought her on the show. They missed something there. But here's the he say, she say miss, like little teenagers. And Anthony is, to me, hyping everything up between this little situation with Brandon and Christina. Now, Brandon and Christina also have worked with Brittany, we find out. All of them are friendly. And Brandon says he loves Brittany. So here's where things get sticky. Anthony says that he proved that Brandon was a liar. And Brandon says that Anthony is lying through his teeth. And everybody's looking like, what? And then Russ pipes up and he's like, well, I know for a fact that you did say if I said it, then I apologize. But then Brandon said, correct. I said, if I said it. I don't remember saying that. And I don't think I did. And Brandon is really sticking to his guns on this, as he should. Because it then comes out that Anthony really wants to work with her and not have, and kind of just like squeeze, it seems to me, in my opinion, and squeeze Brandon out of working with Brittany. I guess Brittany is the bee's knees of PR people in Detroit. Now, if she was in a small town like DeVille, where I stay, then I'm sure she would be well sought after, because I don't think we have one PR person here. However, I do feel like Brittany was milking it up. We found out in an unseen footage show, part of the show, that she really did say that Anthony was setting out to prove Brandon to be a liar. So they come to the realization that they weren't going to get anywhere with that. We realized that Brittany is messy, according to Kobe. And in my opinion, I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. Because they brought her into this. They brought her on the show. They mentioned her name on the show. They mentioned her as a PR person. I don't think that she pitched herself in that way. Christina might have, was talking about what a great PR person she was to get her little time on the show. But that's the way Carlos made it seem, and I don't know if he was serious or not. It was like, well, thank you for your services, Brittany. And Brittany could have been a good asset on this show because she is in PR. Everybody on the show needs PR. I mean, hey, I dabble in it myself. I know every time I come on here, it's going to be a career that I dabble in, because you can't pin me down on anything either. Because I am the type of person that believes that it's not one thing that's suitable for one person. And now I'm dabbling in YouTube, and all of those skills come in handy. My psychology degree, my master's, me working on my master's in mass communications and public relations, me working in the DHS system, me being a Medicaid caseworker, etc. Oh, and a Head Start caseworker, etc., etc., etc. So I feel like that all these jobs that I've dabbled in help me be an expert in reading these people on these reality shows. So they come back and they agree to disagree on that. And they come back and, they all agree that Brittany was thirsty. And it just seems to me that I bet she felt super disrespected because she did not get to tell her side of the story, which would have been fair. Then they go back into the package and they show that Brandon is super, super, super confused as to what Anthony does. So am I. So Bravo is so excited because this man's movement comes up, and Bravo has a surprise for Anthony. And that surprise is legs and hips and then body. Legs and hips and body. Body. More legs and hips and body. And as Miss Mel says. Legs and hips and breasts. Yes, old Marceau can wear a size A cup, can't he? Maybe a small B. With all of the surgery that they get on these shows, you would think he would get a breast reduction. And so none of us know what Anthony is doing with this man's movement. His wife is saying that this club is playing and herself, and there we are. Brandon thinks it's a flop. Most of the audience, the viewing audience, thinks it's a flop. Anthony, no one was there. How many people did you have there? At least from looking at the show, maybe 20. Then you have them walk up the 7 Mile and you tell them what was here and what was there. And it did, Brandon is right. It did not gel well with the show and your concept. Then you explain what all the man movement does. We try to get men off the streets. We try to get men not to go to jail. We try to educate them in business. You did none of that in the same. Now, I know you have to edit for TV, but it could have been something that you insist be shown, which would have made people have a better understanding of what exactly this man movement is about, even though it sounds positive. But, in the next thing, it's time to wrap things up, and it's time to wrap things up with me as well. The LaToya, Doc, and Anthony are trying to expand their business. She has a business in Georgia, which is perfect for Anthony because he can go right over there to Georgia while he's working and go to Marvel Studios and do what he needs to do over there while LaToya is present this time. Then he jokes, I hope was a joke, and says he's looking for condos in LA. And she was like, yes, we are trying to expand. And then over there on the other couch, Christina and Brandon mentioned nothing about influencing that I saw or expanding their business or the Star Factory again, which to me is what Brandon should have played up. That's his expertise. And we would have gotten more of an understanding of his producing skills. He should have played himself up more in this show and on this reunion about what he does for his talent. They still struggling in their marriage, and it is obvious because what they say is they're going back to counseling. Then they get to Russell and Kobe, and Russell and Kobe say they are trying to grow as a couple. They need more communication. Russell is going to start to try to communicate better, and Kobe understands that they need counseling. Now, a lot of the times with these collegiate men, or what you call clergymen, they don't feel they need counseling. Somebody has to counsel you, to counsel them, and and then somebody needs to meet in the middle. You are not good at counseling your own marriage. To me, I go to a psychology degree kicking in. You need an outside individual that is impartial to both parties. Now, when you saw counseling from Poppy, Preacher, Kobe's daddy, of course he was on your side because you're doing something that, he seems to think that is following in his footsteps. Do what's best for your relationship. And if your relationship is suffering because you want to be the man of the house and be the leader, that's not fair to Kobe. Well, it's good news on the horizon for them because they are expecting. Now, in another video in my shorts, I am so excited about them expecting their second child, and I mentioned that in a short. But I had to come back in and edit this video, so that's why I was able to add it into this one. However, in the last video, I kind of, had it chopped up, screwed. I didn't see in there where I had, because I do watch my videos back, and I didn't see in there where I had mentioned the pregnancy. So that's why you see the other one in a short. I am done with Love and Marriage Detroit. I hope they get a second season. I will be reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville. They are coming back next week. Yay for me. I still like the show, just like I still like Roa. So I will be reviewing that as well. What I'm still so disappointed in that there's no mention of a air date for DC. Now, DC was all over the place second season. We didn't get a whole lot out of it. They introduced a new couple. People, we have got to give those shows a chance. Just second season, let them get their feet, on solid ground. It's going to be okay if they bring it back. I will be reviewing that as well. Give them their props as a predominantly black show. Even though Roa is a predominantly black show, it's not on a predominantly black network. We have to support this network. Now, a lot of the times, like I try to tell my folks in the comments, when they talk about how the ratings are so low compared to Roa, is because OWN is in nobody's package, period, except Philo on streaming services, which is what I have. And this is just a little education there. And then with all cable and satellite, it's in the a la carte package. Thank you for watching my channel. I will be back next week for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Like I was saying, I'm just like, we have to get out, let them get their feet on solid ground on DC. Again, this is the OWN network, and every cable service that I've had, all of them require that you pay extra for OWN. It's in its own separate package. And then when I realized that I was paying an additional